Cloud. Start the recording. I am going to share my screen. Set it up on slideshow. And hello, everyone. This is Nick Kapp, and this is number 70. And what we're doing is we are preparing for a talk called The Increasingly Important Role of Project Manager in Life Sciences. Again, hello, everyone. My name is Nick Kapp. I am the SFPD ASC Academic Advisor, and we have our PDA member audience here. We are a series of podcasts that are 5 to 10 minutes long. What we intend to do is to inform and educate a new generation of pharma manufacturers. That's you guys, through a discussion of helpful links, stories, and interviews. Help us help you. In the coming weeks, we will be trying out various ways to inform our listeners to what it takes to work in the pharma manufacturing sphere. If you have any questions or if you have any ideas or you want to present something, give me an email at kapp@smccd.edu. Again, this is the San Francisco Bay Area PDA student chapter, and here's our PDA logo. And what I wanted to say is, well, the talk this week is going to basically be on project management. And so anything that involves a new product launch, you have a new drug that's coming, a clinical study or regulatory submission are all examples of projects that occur in life sciences. In performing their jobs, PMs or project managers in the life sciences are taking on more cross-functional responsibilities. And while asked to wear many hats, they must still ensure that the final product or organism is delivered on time and, again, able to pass the regulation. And so basically this talk coming up in the 16th of June is going to be basically about 5 project managers from local biotech companies that are talking about what they do. Again, you can get credit from this from something that we call a Project Management Institute. Now, we are a student chapter of the PDA, but what I'd just like to say is that the Project Management Institute is another professional organization. And like our organization, the professional organization of project managers is involved in training, ethics, networking, and help on all things being a project manager. And so you may want to say, well, what is the Project Management Institute? So that's the PMI. The PMI, according to their website, is the leading professional association for project management and the authority for a growing global community of millions of project professionals and individuals who use project management skills. Collectively, these professionals and change makers consistently create better outcomes for businesses, community, and society worldwide. Student membership is $32. But Julio, how much is membership in the PDA?
It's free.
It's free. So again, I don't necessarily want to advertise another professional organization, although we're free and we're better, but you can join these managements there. So now some of you may be thinking of, what is project management? And so that's my only, this week, I didn't really have a lot of time to look for pictures and stuff like that. So what is project management? But before we go on there, and if you want, at this talk, the agenda is going to be at 6 p.m. We're going to have registration and networking. And that's where we're going to need some of our PDA student members there doing the registration. The great thing about registration is you get to meet everyone and you get to learn their names. Again, there's beverages at 6:45 and there's a complimentary buffet dinner that's usually good. And the announcements are going to take place at 7:15, and then we are going to have roughly about an hour's talk. It's and then at 8:30 it's going to be closing, and we're pretty good at that. The date is going to be June 16th, again, roughly from 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. John Bieber, PhD, is the PMP, which is a consulting company senior project manager of research and development and Senti Biosciences. He's going to be our moderator. like a lot of project managers, he is a former research scientist. He's kind of, they call it, I guess, going over to the dark side, working in antibody cell and phage therapies, and he is a senior project manager. So I wanted to say, what is a senior project manager? What do they do? A senior project manager or a project director is responsible for overseeing the planning and the implementation of entire projects through budgeting, hiring team members, sourcing suppliers, and planning the project release. It sounds a lot like a boss. So I'm starting to think that a project manager is you're hiring somebody who's going to be a boss. And so what are some of the, if I looked it up, what are some of the responsibilities? Again, you create a planning schedule. And so you're working with somebody. And so on all these things, you have to have a plan to do. You secure funding for projects. You ensure the team members complete tasks according to the schedule. That's a lot like a boss. You identify if staff members require further training and provide this training. You research industry trends and innovations, prepare progress reports for stakeholders and investors, ensure the health and safety and laws are followed, and you conduct employee performance evaluations. That sounds a lot like a boss. And then they get paid like a boss. What are the requirements for a senior project manager? And again, you need a degree in project management, business management, or a related field. Again, if you belong to the PMI and those groups, they have certification classes that you can have. If you look it up, there's a project management body of knowledge book that you can buy for about 35 bucks and read, and you can do that. A senior project manager is going to have some requirements. I guess they need to be a little bit older. They have 5 years experience with project management. They have excellent interpersonal communication skills. They have the ability to multitask. They have proficiency with Microsoft Office. They have excellent planning and time management skills. They have excellent leadership abilities. A lot like a boss. I think the difference was this is a lot of my bosses didn't know how to work Microsoft Office on there. But I guess if you're a project manager, you do, I guess, a senior project manager. And what I thought about this is that a lot of students, you're not going to be a senior, you're not going to get a job as a senior project manager. You would love to get the pay of a senior project manager, which is, anywhere, it's north of $100,000. But you're not going to get that, especially here. And you tend to see that they for senior project managers, they like people with like at least 5 years experience. Sometimes that you used to be a scientist or you used to work in the field and stuff like that. So let's talk about what you can possibly do. And Priscilla, if you can talk about this. Well, I'm not going to have you talk about this one, but you may know this. And I found that the University of California, San Francisco, which is a nice place to work for, and actually Priscilla works for that, if I can call her out on that, they have something that's called a laboratory technical project manager. And so this is not kind of the big boss, it's little boss. For this particular one that I looked at, and I just went on Indeed and looked at something. And so this cell project therapy manager will develop and maintain timelines, assist draft documents such as standard operating procedures. God, people in my classes get sick of that when I talk about SOPs and knowing how to do SOPs all the time. Assist with experimental design and data interpretation, contribute to regulatory submissions, ensure adequate coordination between members of a multidisciplinary group. So this is a little boss, and you are making sure that things get done. Again, for this one here, this position will serve as a central point of contact for various teams at UCSF and external collaborators. And so basically, you're going to have to talk to everyone and make sure that everyone knows what they're doing. And so on this table here, I have a number of people that acted in the classroom as a project manager. And, the big thing in project management is actually being able to communicate. But for this one here, the cell therapy project manager will independently execute, manage, and coordinate operations for the UCSF Cellular Therapy Development Laboratory and the UCSF Human Islet and Cellular Transplant Facility and good manufacturing good manufacturing practices facility. And so that's a lot there. You're making things get done. But, so here are some of the tasks that would have is functions as a cross-functional leader for project teams, from initiation through closeout. So you're making sure stuff gets done, preparing a project work plan, scope, schedule, and communicates these project team members, monitoring, managing projects to compliance with schedule, overseeing execution of routine activities, reports to management regarding status of project budget, milestone completions, obstacles, and risks, overseeing completion of projects in a timely and cost-effective manner, and oh, I muted myself. Sorry about that. Developing and maintaining standard operating procedures. So this SOP is coming in there a lot. There's a lot of stuff to do with SOPs in this activities. Required qualifications. I'm not necessarily going to go on that. What's kind of hard on this one here is, especially since a lot of my students are community college students, it says bachelor's degree in a STEM field. But if you look at a lot of this stuff, you don't necessarily need that. Here, ability to use sound judgment in response to issues and concerns. Minimum of 1 year related experience. Intermediate skills to analyze and research information and learn to synthesize large amounts of data with strong attention to detail. You don't need to be an expert. Intermediate program and project management skills. At least 1 year of project management experience. Working knowledge of common organizational, research specific, or other computer application programs. Proficient in ability to use discretion and maintain all confidentiality. Demonstrates the ability to use sound judgment. Proficient ability to multitask with demanding timeframes. And I like this one here: excellent attendance and reliability. So again, if you got the good attendance award in grade school, boom, that's going to come in handy for this particular job. Again, this looks like the job for you. It's not the senior project manager, but again, it's that job that you're going to get kind of working in the door when you've done these kind of things. And so what I would like to do, I know I've spent a little bit of time with you all, and I'm going to close out here. Basically, what I'm just going to say is that project management. So in about 2 weeks, we're going to have a talk on project management. I would love to have you guys go. If you don't go, you'll hear about it from us. Next week, what I wanted to do is go over and talk a little bit about the speakers. So hopefully now that you know a little bit more about what project management is and what they're going to talk, that you may be a little bit interested in coming to the talk. So thank you very much. Does anyone have any questions that they want to put on camera? Okay, well, I'm going to stop recording.